Добрый день! Начнем наш видеоурок. Напоминаю, что максимальное время пребывания перед экраном монитора не должно превышать 10-15 минут. Если вы устали, поставьте запись на паузу, отдохните, закройте глаза, выполните зарядку для глаз, после чего вы сможете вернуться к просмотру нашего видеоурока. Good morning, my dear students. I'm very glad to see you today at our English lesson, at our next English lesson. Okay. Don't forget that we are working on module number 8 and the topic of this module is pastime. So it means that we speak about everything connected with pastimes, what we do in our free time, after school activities and so on. And we have already mentioned during the previous lessons that the most popular pastime among students and among you, of course, is sport. So, what do we usually do as a pastime, as a hobby, as an activity? Of course, it is sport. And different students take different sports according to their taste, according to what they like, what they need, what they want, what they can afford or allow to themselves. And today, we are going to discuss one of the sports, the one which is quite popular in our country and in our school and all over the world. It is basketball. Open up your books on page 128, 129. So the first thing you see here is the text FIFA World Cup. So what is it? What is FIFA? What is World Cup? How can we translate it and what does it mean? You will know everything after we've read and translate the text. So, first of all, you are to listen to the text. You are to understand what this text is about. And after that, we are going to answer the questions after that text. But the first thing is, of course, to listen to. So, get ready. Now, listen to the text.
Exercise 1, page 128.
FIFA World Cup. Every 4 years, billions of spectators watch their national teams take part in the Football World Cup. It is a moment that all football fans look forward to. In fact, the FIFA World Cup is probably the most important sport event in the world. The World Cup was created in the 1930s, when Jules Rimet, a French football official, came up with the idea of bringing the best football teams in the world together to play against one another for the title of world champions. There was great enthusiasm for his idea, and the first FIFA World Cup was organised in Uruguay in 1930. The host team won the first World Cup when they beat Argentina 4-2. Since then, almost 20 World Cup tournaments have been played, and the competition has often surprised fans around the world. Everyone was amazed when the USA beat England 1-0 in 1950. The 1966 World Cup surprised many fans when Italy lost 1-0 to North Korea. And Northern Ireland took everyone by surprise when they beat the host team Spain 1-0 in 1982. Many legends and many football records have also been made during the World Cup. The Irish 17-year-old Norman Whiteside was the youngest player to ever play in a World Cup. And Pelé was the youngest to ever score in a match and win the World Cup. Ronaldo is the top scorer in World Cup history, with 15 goals. Football history is made every 4 years at the FIFA World Cup. Whatever the results, the championship brings people from every region of the world together in the spirit of fun and sport.
I hope you've understood everything and now you know what FIFA World Cup is and why the basketball is the most popular sport, is one of the most popular sports in the world. And now we are going to answer the questions. Answer the questions in exercise 2. But before answering the questions, we are to ask them. Look at the questions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is missing? What is missing? Of course, the question word. What is question word? Вопросительное слово. Question word. You know, question words are missing in the exercise. So, our first task is to put these question words into the exercise to make up the questions and then to answer them. So, what question words to put? What are the question words? Open up your copybooks and put down the question words from the screen into your copybooks. So look at the screen. All these question words are quite familiar because you know them pretty well. But maybe you might have forgotten something, so in this case you are to look at the screen, put down the question words into your copybooks, and then we'll read and work with the words and see in which sentences we can use them when we can meet them. You're welcome. Look at the screen. Okay, good. Now, let's see the sentences where these question words can be used, how they can be translated and what they mean, so how they work in the sentences. The first question word is what. Что, какой. It can be used in the sentence like, what do you want for your birthday? So is what, что. Which classroom is yours? Which, который, какой. Where did you plan to travel? Where, где, куда. When was your exam? Когда. Who is going to visit Lucy? Кто, who, кто. Why did you go to the park yesterday? Why, почему. How long do you stay in London? Как долго ты останешься в Лондоне? How long, как долго. How, как. How did you manage to get this diploma? How many and how much? So what's the difference between how many and how much, by the way? The main difference is that how many we use with countable nouns and how much with uncountable. How many с исчисляемыми, how much с неисчисляемыми. But both are translated the same, сколько. Okay. How many people are there in your office? How many, сколько. How much money do you need? Сколько денег тебе нужно? Whose car is it? Чья? Whom did you call last night? Whom, кому? Okay, I think after that now you won't have any difficulties putting down these question words into exercise 2. You have 1 minute to do this task. After that we'll check. So you're welcome. Pause the recording for 1 minute. Okay, now let's check. The first question was, whose idea was it to create the World Cup? Whose idea? Чья идея? Whose idea was to create World Cup? Okay. Where was the first World Cup played? Where? Где? Where was the first World Cup played? What was the result of the match between Uruguay and Argentina in 1930? What? Какой? Что? Какой? Okay, who was England defeated by in 1950? Who was defeated by? Who, кто, by чем-либо, кем-либо, это пассив, предлог пассива. Who was defeated by? Кем была побеждена? Who was defeated by? And the last one. Why did Northern Ireland take everyone by surprise in 1982? Why? Почему? Почему Северная Ирландия удивила всех? Why? Okay. Now you are to answer these questions in your copybooks. Find in the text the answers for these 5 questions and put them down in your copybooks. Pause the recording for 3 minutes. You're welcome. Okay, now let's check. Look at the screen. Here are the answers for your questions. Good. And we continue speaking about sports, so we have already discussed basketball, and I'd like to continue speaking about different sports games. What sports games do you know? I think the most famous and the most popular are football, of course, basketball we have already told, volleyball, tennis, in England, for example, it is golf, and so on. So, what are the most widespread and popular sports games? What are their main peculiarities? So, they have one common feature. У них есть общая черта, one common feature. All these games are played in somewhere. They have a place where they are all played. In English, we usually say поле. Все эти игры играют на поле. Football, basketball, tennis, cricket, rugby, baseball, soccer, and so on. They are played in поле. So, if you look at the dictionary and watch the translation of the word поле, they will all give you the word field. Field. What is field? Поле. But mind the fact that field means some area of land where people grow crops. Где люди выращивают урожай. This is a field. But when we speak about sports and games, the word field will be incorrect. We cannot use the word field in the meaning of поле when we speak about sports games. Yes, there are some quite different words. This is the most common mistakes of students, especially those who use the translator to do their home task. So you usually write, you print футбольное поле, and the translator gives you the result as football field, and that's wrong. You cannot say the word field in this meaning, this particular meaning. What words are to use then? So, here are the four possible variants, the most common variants for the word field in English. They are pitch, court, course, and rink. Now, I offer you to guess which word to use, to guess which game requires which word. Look at exercise 4. Here are 10 sports games. Rugby, cricket, hockey, football, golf, tennis, badminton, squash, baseball, and ice skating. Now, I'll give you 2 minutes to guess, to try to guess which sport requires which type of facility where it is played. So where will be pitch, court, or course? Divide your copybook into 3 columns, like on the screen. And just try to think, and after that we'll check whether you've done it right or not. So pause the recording for 10 minutes and try to guess where to write, or where will be pitch, court, course, or a rink. You're welcome. Okay, now let's check whether you've guessed or not. So, first of all, look at the first column where there is word pitch. This is the biggest column because here are such words as rugby, cricket, football and baseball. So we have rugby pitch, cricket pitch, football pitch and rugby pitch. All these games are played on a pitch. So speaking about court, I think it was much easier for you to choose, because here will be tennis court, badminton court and squash court. Let's pass over to the rink. It's the last word here, because rink in English, it is katok. So in this case there are only two words here for the table with rink. They are hockey and ice skating. Hockey rink and ice skating rink. And the last word, course, it's quite a rare word. It's a specific word, and it is used only with the word golf. Golf course, поле для гольфа, so only in this particular meaning. Okay, try to memorize these words and these expressions, so for not to make mistakes. Okay, good. But we are moving further, and for our lesson today we are going to, as we describe and we discuss different games. So each game, practically every game, uses some special equipment. You know the word equipment. For every game you need this or that particular equipment. Look at exercise 5 on page 129. Here are the pictures with the words, meaning some equipment for this or that sports game. Open up your vocabularies and put down these words with the translation of these words into your vocabularies. You have 2 minutes to do this task, to put down these words into your vocabularies. You're welcome. Pause the recording for 2 minutes. Well, now you've got acquainted with the equipment needed and necessary for the game. But each game has the result. So why are we playing games? Not just for fun, of course. We play different games because we want to win. Because we want victory. We want to be the winners. We want to be the best, to be the first. So each game has the purpose to win. And again, so collocations again, how to win and which words to use when we speak about winning, when we speak about some victories. When we want to say it in Russian, we usually use the word выиграть, выиграть. How to say it in English? Выиграть. Again, different words use different collocations. So for this or that words we use some quite different words meaning выиграть, победить. Okay. Here is exercise 6. And 3 words that can be used with both with these in these word collocations, in these word combinations. Win, beat or game. They have similar meaning in English. Win means выиграть. Beat – побить, в переносном смысле, побить соперника, например, опять же в переносном смысле. And gain – приобрести. So these words are usually mixed by Russian learners of English because they have the similar meaning, as I have already told you, and sometimes we use them in a wrong sense. Now, let's see which word to use to make collocations. Exercise 6. Again. What are we doing with the game? Of course, we win. Win again. Put it down. The next. Advantage. What is advantage? Преимущество. We cannot win advantage, we cannot beat advantage, we can only gain advantage. Получить преимущество. Gain advantage. Support. What is support? Поддержка, помощь. We can only gain support, but not win or beat support. The next. Ability. Способность. Способность можно только приобрести. Gain an ability. An opponent. What is an opponent? Opponent. Оппонент, то есть кто? Соперник. And in this case we beat an opponent. Побить соперника. Победить соперника в значении beat an opponent. Побить соперника. Okay. Competition. So what do we usually do with competition? Of course, we win it. So win competition. Time. What do we usually do with time? Of course, we gain time. Приобрести время. For example, to take some extra time, additional time, берем дополнительное время, so we gain time. Problem. How do we overcome problem? There is an expression in English, beat a problem. What is to beat a problem? Побить проблему, то есть преодолеть. So overcome the problem, to beat a problem. To beat a record. Побить рекорд, like in our Russian language, beat a record. Medal. What do we do with medal? Приобретаем, бьем или выигрываем. Of course, we win the medal. Okay, speed. What do we do with speed? We usually gain speed because it is impossible to win speed or to beat it. We can only gain speed. It means that we are moving faster and faster and the speed is becoming bigger and bigger. And the last one, a prize. I think no wonder that what are we doing with the prize? We win. So win a prize, выиграть приз. Okay. So as our lesson is coming to an end, the last thing we are going to do in such type of lesson is putting down the idioms into your vocabulary and working with idioms. So this is the same we are going to do now. Look at exercise 8. Here are the idioms and here are they on the screen. So first of all, put down these idioms into your vocabulary. You have 1 minute to do it. Pause the recording for 1 minute. Now let's try to translate. The first one is the ball is in your court. Мяч на вашем поле, дословно. So the meaning of the idiom originated from the games, of course, when you pass the ball to the other person. You pass the ball to the other court and now it's his turn to do something with the ball. So put down the translation to put the ball is in your court, твоя очередь. The ball is in your court, it's your turn, твоя очередь делать что-то. Okay, good. Get off the hook. So what is the hook? I think you know what the hook is. The hook. Get off the hook. Сорваться с крючка. Если дословно, примерно имеется сорваться с крючка, то есть, как бы сказать, откосить от чего-то, от чего не очень хочется делать. Get the ball rolling. Get the ball rolling дословно заставить мяч катиться. Но так как это идиома, у нее переносное значение. Get the ball rolling. Заставить мяч катиться, то есть сдвинуть его. Get the ball rolling. Сдвинуть что-либо с мертвой точки. Заставить что-либо двигаться. Okay, saved by the bell. To save by the bell. Дословно спастись со звонком. This is the expression from your life. Because so imagine the situation when you come to the blackboard to answer the lesson, for example, to answer your homework or to answer something that you don't know very well. You just come up to the blackboard, but you don't know what to say, you don't know what to do, how to answer, and you're just staying, doing nothing, and just trying to remember what it was about. So, at that particular moment, suddenly the bell rings, and you understand that, oh my God, I was saved by the bell. So, звонок спас меня. I was saved by the bell. Спасся со звонком. Okay. Throw in the towel. So this expression originated from boxing or some other types of fighting. For example, when one of the opponents understands that his opponent is stronger and he has no real opportunity to win, he wants to give up and he throws in the towel, saying that, so I'm fed up, I'm giving up. So to throw in the towel, признать поражение, сдаться. Okay. Now, let's do exercise 8 on page 129. So you are to fill in the sentences with the missing idioms. You are to write the idioms into spaces. You have 2 minutes to do this task. You're welcome. Okay, good. Now let's check. So, did Tim's teacher shout at him for not doing his homework? No, he got off the hook because she was in a hurry today. Он сорвался, скажем так, избежал наказания, все сорвалось, его пронесло, потому что учитель спешил. You're lucky there was no time left to ask you questions. I know, I was saved by the bell. Тебе повезло, что не осталось времени задать тебе вопросы. That's right, he was saved by the bell, практически в прямом смысле слова. Okay, I'm fed up. Whatever I do, I just can't get it right. Come on, you're not going to throw in the towel, are you? Все надоело, у меня ничего не выходит, чтобы я не пытался. Да ладно, неужели ты собираешься сдаться, признать свое поражение? Do you think your husband will make the decision? No, I think the ball is in my court now. Твой муж собирается принять решение, как всегда, нет уж, в этот раз мой черед. Nothing's happening, what should I do now? Ничего не происходит, что делать? If you call a meeting, that should get the ball rolling. А вот если собрать собрание, может быть, дело сдвинется с мертвой точки. Okay, that's all for now. Because now we have spoken about one of the sport basketball, for example, how it is played. We've spoken about different places or facilities where we play sports, some pitches, courts, courses, and so on. We've covered the topic of equipment, what equipment we usually use for this or that game. We have spoken about collocations, we have formed collocations and idioms on how to describe this or that particular sport. And now it's time to put down your home task. Your home task for the next lesson will be, it will be not quite an unusual home task. First of all, you are to watch 3 videos about rugby, cricket and squash. These are the games that are not so popular in our country, but they are popular in Europe and in Great Britain especially. You are to watch 3 videos about these 3 types of sport, 3 sport games. You are to choose one of the games, rugby, cricket or squash. And you are to describe it according to the following plan. So look at the plan. You are to see, first of all, you are to write a review about the place where it is played, number of players or how many players are there, what equipment these players used, and briefly the rules of the game. Not for long, based on the video that you have watched. So you are to watch the video, you to make come to some conclusions, and according to the video you are to write a short review. Is the task clear? I hope yes. Send me your work, and now our lesson is over. Goodbye and good luck.